Hey, everybody, Alan Arnett here with a very special edition of the podcast on alanarnett.com. It is, well, let's see, it is Thursday, May 21st, United States. It is Friday, May 22nd at Camp 2 on Mount Everest at 21,500 feet. And Garrett Madison, hey, man, how you doing?
Doing well. Happy to be up here.
And you're on your summit push, right?
Yes, we're on our final rotation, our summit push, and weather looking great right now. Conditions are good, so fingers crossed we'll be able to get up there in a few days' time and have some great views at the summit.
So I know our time is limited. You're on a satellite link, so we're going to make this quick and efficient. A couple of things, a couple of days ago, 270 people summited. Yesterday, I don't know, 100, 150 summited. How many do you think are going to be in this last group that you guys are part of?
Well, probably another 100 or so today and tomorrow, but then by the time we get up there and go on the 25th, hopefully it's just our team, maybe a few other climbers.
Yeah, and that's by design, right, Garrett?
Exactly. Yeah, we like to wait until the very end of the season when the winds drop down and the temperatures warm up and most of the other teams have cleared out.
Do you ever get nervous though that you're kind of playing a little bit of a Russian roulette game here, that the monsoons are going to come in and all of a sudden that last window is going to evaporate?
Yeah, that is a real possibility, but we've been monitoring the monsoon and there's no indication of it coming in anytime here in the next week or two. So things are looking really good. One caveat though, the SPCC said they're closing the Kumbu Icefall on the 29th of May. So we have to be out of here before then. So that means our climbers and our Sherpa team have to pack up and get everything down in time. So the 25th is pretty much the last day we can summit and then get everything down and off the mountain in time before they close the Kumbu Icefall.
I saw some press today talking about that hard stop that they do in trying to convince them to go into early June, or at least like they do on the north side. It really is not a hard stop, but I also get it that the ice fall begins to get more unstable. And so yeah, it's a trade off.
Yeah. Yep.
So, how's your team doing? Everybody healthy?
Yeah, we've got a great team. They had a good rest down in Namche, and now we're heading up to Camp 3 today, and then a couple of us are heading up the next day. We have a no oxygen climber, Reed Tileston, who I know you've been working with and coaching. He's doing great, very healthy, and another climber, Jeff Arnold. He's on a Super Express program. He arrived in Nepal May 13.
Oh,
And so we're doing the single push. So myself, Teray, Reed, and Jeff are heading up one day behind the main team with the idea we're going to meet up with everyone at the South Call and then push together for the summit on the 25th.
Jeff is the one you did Elbrus and Vincent and Aconcagua. And, I call it that you ambushed Aconcagua. You did that with Jeff, right?
Exactly. Yeah. He's a tough one to keep up with.
It sounds like it. Sounds like it. Let's back up a little bit. So that big old Serac that's delayed the icefall doctors. Did you ever actually see it before it collapsed?
No, we just saw some video of it, but by the time we did our rotation up to the ice fall, it had already come down. And boy, the ice fall route this year just seems as safe and smooth and fast as I've ever seen it.
Isn't that crazy? Because I mean, in the beginning, that was the problem, and then you just say it was better than you've seen it. I saw Ben Jones also say, he goes, I'm not sure my memory is all that good, but the ice fall is the best I've ever seen it.
Best. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, we got lucky this season, so we'll take it.
And what about this stuff with the drones and helicopters that the government's letting it happen, and then they change your mind? Has that had any significant impact?
Well, it is allowing more waste to be flown down off the mountain with the drones and also other equipment, oxygen to be flown up. So the drones are having an impact, and it's really interesting to see them at work. They're carrying, I think, 40 kgs load each time up and down from base camp to Camp 1. So it'll be interesting to see how that impacts the future as well. They might even start carrying climbers up one day.
I was thinking about that from a rescue perspective. I was speaking with the CEO of Global Rescue and asking him about using drones maybe to help rescue humans. And he said, well, we've talked about that, and potentially one day when they get strong enough and reliable enough, that could happen. But, right now it's probably not in the cards.
Yeah, yeah. But no, you can probably hear the helicopter behind me. They're still coming in, doing pickups here regularly from Camp 2 every day when the weather's good.
Now, are these evacuations?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they're coming in regularly when the weather's good.
So, what did you hear any scuttlebutt about the 2 days ago when 200 or I guess 3 days ago for you when 274 people summited? Did that go smoothly? Were there long lines? I heard it was 12 hours from the South Col to the summit.
Yeah, I did talk to a friend of mine who was up there that day with his team, and he said it was pretty slow going. There was a lot of people that were not as efficient as they should have been on the lines and holding up a lot of people. So it sounds like it worked out for most people getting up and down, but a very crowded day indeed.
Yeah, it was a record day for summits on the Nepal side, not on total Everest on both sides. That was back in, I don't know, 2019, like 350 did it on both sides. So
Right,
yeah.
right.
Wow. Okay. So you're gonna right now we're gonna see whatever another 100, and tomorrow maybe another 100, and then you guys are gonna go up to the South Col. So talk us briefly through what your protocol is from Camp 3 to until you leave for the summit.
So we get up to Camp 3 and sleep on oxygen. Next day, head out early, climb up and over the Yellow Band, Geneva Spur, get into the South Col. And then our team normally takes a full rest day to recover on oxygen and then leaves the next night. So around midnight, 1 a.m., and climb up, hopefully, summit on the 25th, 8, 9, 10 a.m., somewhere in that ballpark. And then back down to the South Col, spend the night there, and then descend on the 26th down to Camp 2, and then 27th back to Everest Base Camp.
So you spend 3 nights at 26,000 feet, 8,000 meters approximately.
Yeah, it's unusual, but I find it works great for recovery. But it takes a lot of resources to make that happen, to have the oxygen, all of the food, the fuel, the manpower up there to support a team so that everyone can recover from that big day going from Camp 3 to Camp 4. Because, boy, Camp 3 to Camp 4 is a tough day. It's probably one of the toughest days on the mountain, and it can really exhaust people, especially if you're getting in late, evening time. So we like to have enough oxygen and resources to take the whole next day just to recover up there and recharge and be ready to go for the summit push that following night.
So it sounds like you play a lot of cards.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at Lhotse behind you, and there's a little small plume, but man, it looks calm.
Yeah, it's a very calm morning here today. Uh, I'll give you a pano here. So
Yeah,
there's Everest. You can see the Everest summit up there.
yeah,
And then Lhotse in the distance. And there's Nupse with the sun on it right now.
beautiful.
And you probably heard the climbers who summited Nupse recently
I did.
and going for Everest and Lhotse next. So yeah,
Right.
quite a beautiful day here.
Have you got people wanting to do the double Everest and Lhotse?
Yes, yeah. We'll see how they feel after Everest if they're up for going to Lhotse.
All right. All right, man. Hey, give my best to Reed. I've been working with Reed for, I don't know, 3 years now. And last year, of course, he got Everest on the north side, and now he wants to do no O's. And I tell you what, don't think I've ever seen somebody so confident in all my life. So he's probably going to knock it out of the park, especially with Terry. I mean, good Lord, Terry's a world class guide. So best of luck to your entire team, Garrett, and thank you so much for taking the time. Any parting words for the audience from Madison Mountaineering?
Oh gosh, no. Fingers crossed. Good weather, good conditions, and hopefully we'll get lucky and get some great views up there all together as a team.
All right, best of luck, my friend, and I look forward to hearing about it after you come back down.
All right. Thanks so much, Alan. We'll be in touch.
Okay, take care. Climb on.
We'll do.
The podcast on AlanArnett.com is sponsored by Summit Coach, helping aspiring climbers worldwide to reach their dreams.